Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norlita. Here I will present to all of you about research article with the title Improving Reading Comprehension Using the Survey, Question, Predicts, with Respond and Summarize, or SQP2RS Strategy. Before I start, I will tell you about what is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is fundamental for EFL senior high school or senior high school student. It is really essential to enhance the student knowledge and information. Therefore, this learner need to be prepared with good reading skill. Reading comprehension incredibly complex and multifaceted. That is why many students do not comprehend text easily, quickly, and independently. In other words, there are many aspects of the reading process where difficulty may arise and affect reading comprehension because comprehension involves the interaction of a wide range of cognitive skill and process. First, I start with the background. The background of the research was to improve reading comprehension through the survey, question, predicts, read, respond, summarize, or SQP2RS strategy, So it means the purpose of the research was to improve student reading comprehension through the survey, question, predicts, read, respond, and summarize, or SQP2RS strategy. Based on the problem, the researcher formulated three research questions. Question number 1 is, how will implementing the SQP2RS strategy improve the reading comprehension of 10 grade student at SMA Negeri 1 Sawa? Question number 2, what will be the result of reading comprehension from students after implementing the SQP2RS strategy with 10 grade at SMA Negeri 1 Sawa? And how will the student, and the last question is, how will the student respond to the implementation of the SQP2RS strategy for improving their reading comprehension? The research was a collaborative classroom action study. The subject of the research was 10th grade student at SMA Negeri 1 Sawa. Next. Research objective. The objective of the research was to describe the process of implementing, to find out the ability, and to find out what the response of this student will be using the SQP2RS strategy for improving their reading comprehension. The study was conducted in 3 cycles by following the procedure for action research via planning, implementing, observing, and reflecting. To collect the data, the researcher used instruments via test, observation, and the note and questionnaire. The data was analyzed qualitatively and quantitatively. The mean score from the student test result after cycle 1 was 63, and this increased to 69 after cycle 2, and then increased to 78 after cycle 3. Next. Theoretical frameworks. Number 1, reading comprehension and process. Reading comprehension is the process of taking meaning from a text to option the main idea, supporting detail, word meaning, and reference in order to comprehend the text well. And number 2, the SQP2RS strategy. The SQP2RS strategy is a systematic procedure used for reading a text. It helps the student to stimulate their knowledge and construct their own creative thinking. The SQP2RS strategy has 6 steps. They are survey, question, predicts, respond, and summarize. Number 1, survey. Survey X student to survey a reading passage by modeling your own thinking processes using a think and using a think a lot strategy. And number 2, question. Question X student to work in group to formulate a question about the passage. Number 3, predicts. Predict X the student to predict answer to each question, generate the previous step. And number 4, read. Read in small group, read assigned section of the text. While reading, look for the answer to any question and the material. Number 4, respond. Have students work in their group to review the question in the question that were posed earlier and see if they have one answer based on their reading of the passage. And the last, number 6, summarize. Summarize, ask a student to write a few sentences about the passage. Next. The research methods. The researcher used a collaborative classroom action in research technique to study phenomena in her classroom. This research was done in real-life situation, not in concept experimental study. The study was intended to overcome problem found by the researcher in teaching, learning, reading comprehension. A classroom action is to improve the quality of human action in educational setting. This classroom action research study was done at SMA Negeri 1 Sawang in North Aceh. The researcher used method of collaborative classroom and action study. And the subject of the research was 10 grade student at SMA Negeri 1 Sawang. The study was conducted in 3 cycles by following the procedure of 4 action research via planning, implementing, observing, and reflecting. To collect the data, the researcher used instrument via test, observation sheet, field note, and questionnaire. The data was not analyzed qualitatively and quantitatively. Research was the teacher who conducted the research and the 10 grade student optional high school. And number 1, the result and the finding. First, the finding. The finding from this research was the stem of those from some previous research. The student become more active and creative in thinking to develop their reading competency by using the SQP2RS strategy. And the result of the research is thought that the SQP2RS strategy was effective for improving reading comprehension of students from SMA Negeri 1 Sawang. The result of this research that the SQP2RS strategy is able to be implemented to develop student reading comprehension in simulating the student prior knowledge and their creative thinking. The score from the student test result after cycle 1 was 63. And then this increased to 69 after cycle 2, and then to 78 after cycle 3. In conclusion, based on the research finding and discussion above, the researcher would like to make some suggestions. It was proven that using the SQP2RS strategy in a reading comprehension class was a good technique strategy for teaching, learning, reading comprehension of narrative text, because SQP2RS strategy has been designed to help students to understand and comprehend text by activating their background knowledge, helping them to find out the main idea, word meaning, detailed information, and the reference. So that's all from me. That's all from me is about research article with the title Improving Reading Comprehension Using the Survey, Question, Predicts, Read, Respond, and Summarize, or SQP2RS Strategy. So thank you so much. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.